Hello everyone, I'm Alex Dykes, and today we're out here taking a look at one of the best value entries in the luxury mid-sized crossover segment, but also one of the most overlooked. This is the 2014 Acura RDX, and if you didn't know it, it got a complete redesign in 2013. For some reason, a lot of people seem to think that the RDX is smaller than it actually is, and I think that's why a lot of people overlook it. The RDX is actually about the same size as an RX 350, a Lincoln MKX, a Cadillac SRX, a Volvo XC60, BMW X3, Mercedes GLK, etc. It's a solid mid-sized 5-seater crossover vehicle. It's not a compact luxury crossover like you'd think the Lincoln MKC would be. This generation of RDX grew a couple inches in just about every dimension versus the outgoing model. But a lot of the reason that this model looks so much bigger than the outgoing model is simply styling. We have a much more aggressive front end with the Acura shield that you see on all the Acura models in the US. It's a little bit more demure here than we've seen in other Acura models. I think it's very attractive on this front end. But also the rest of the RDX has been styled to make it look bigger than that outgoing model. The way that Acura styled the side of the RDX, it makes it look a little bit lower and a little bit longer than some of the competition. But when you actually look at the numbers, this is the same height as the Lexus RX 350, and it's just a little bit shorter than that Lexus model. It's all down to the styling on the side. It has a relatively high beltline, relatively low greenhouse that gives it a slightly sexier look, but does hamper a little bit of rearward visibility. The RDX also has a higher ground clearance than most of these luxury crossovers. It comes in at around 8.1 inches, which is a little bit lower than the Volvo XC60, but it is notably higher than that Lexus RX. In addition to the sloping rear glass, you can also see what's going on in terms of style. This roofline really doesn't plummet that much at the back versus the middle of the car. It really is right about the same height. However, with the glass taking this drastic angle at the back, it makes it look a lot sleeker, a lot more coupe-like in the back. The RX looks much wider from the rear, and part of that's because of these shoulders in this design right here, these slightly protruding tail lamps. We also have hidden exhaust tips on the back, and overall I think the back end of the RDX is a little bit more exciting than something like an RX 350. Admittedly, that's not a difficult thing to achieve. With almost everybody in this segment moving away from 6-cylinder engines to 4-cylinder turbocharged engines, Acura did an about-face, and they actually moved from a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine in the last generation RDX to a 3.5-liter V6 engine. This is basically the same V6 engine you'll find under a wide variety of Honda and Acura hoods. It produces 273 horsepower and 251 pound-feet of torque in the RDX trim. With this engine upgrade, things actually improved